Good morning, Taurus. Welcome back to the Warrior's Journey Tarot. Today, it's going to be your daily reading for Friday, March 29th. I'm going to do your love reading today as well for April. So I switched up the decks and I'm just going to keep it short today. This is me playing and using some of my other decks that I have that I really enjoyed when I got them. Maybe like, I don't know, a year ago, less. So let me light some incense. This is the Wildwood Tarot. Now this tarot deck has specific meanings, kind of separate, sometimes off, sometimes in keeping with traditional tarot. So let me just read you what it says in the book, okay? For some reason, this is what happened. Today I was going to use a regular lineup and then I felt drawn to this tarot deck. So I was like, all right, fine, I can try that out. Then it led to switching up the other ones, and my only reservation was that this tarot has different meanings for certain cards. It takes it in different directions. But, so when I was second guessing myself, I saw here, it's saying, Part 1, Into the Green, an introduction by Mark Ryan. The best advice I ever got about tarot was, read the book, meditate with the cards, then put the book away and do your own thing. So, since I've already, you know, played with these cards had real fun, a lot of fun during the summer. Just, you know, seeing, as you can see, these are kind of well worn now. But after using so many tarot decks, you lose your, you know, memory about what each of these decks mean. Anyways, so I'm gonna just go with my intuition because that's what it was saying to do. This is the Druid Animal Oracle cards. They're they're very bold, right in your face kind of oracle cards. You'll see what I mean. And this is by Philip and Stephanie Carr-Gom. Okay, so I'm gonna use that as well. And then Earth Magic. Oracle cards by Stephen D. Farmer, which I don't use that often. And of course the Wild Kuan Yin by Alana Fairchild, the pocketbook edition. It's a rainy day right now, the rainy morning, and it just felt very earthy, very natural, so I felt like doing this. Let's see how this goes. This is not going to be a regular thing, but I just felt like doing this, and I guess I was compelled to do this because I could feel this tarot calling me. So, let's see what's going on for Taurus for Friday, March 29th, please. What's going on for Taurus for Friday, March 29th, please? Can you please get a 5-card spread? First card is the situation, second card is Taurus, third card is surrounding, fourth is the outcome, and the underlying energy is on the bottom. So let's get a card for, whoa, too many. They want to speak. Alright, the first card is the situation, please. For Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for Friday, March 29th. Eight of Bows, Hearthfire. Okay, that's energy, positive feedback, excitement, very social. This is communications, going back and forth. Very virile energy too, as you can see. It's all men around this card, but generally speaking, 8 of Wands. This is 8 of Bows, fire energy. It's about communications of enthusiasm, love, positive feedback, passion, excitement, virility, high energy, overwhelming almost. On the bottom, there's Page of Bows, so another Page of Wands. This is the Stoat, And it's basically an energy with the Page of Wands of being inspired. Something that lit your fire and feeling inspired by this. This is communication. Both cards are about communications, by the way. Okay, so let's see what represents Taurus. Can we get a card representing Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for March 29th, Friday, March 29th. Can we get a card representing Taurus, please, for Friday, March 29th? This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Oh, 3 of Arrows. And here it says jealousy, heartbreak, loss, disappointment. We've been getting this. All right. And then on the bottom, 9 of Vessels, 9 of Cups, generosity. This is a dream come true, a wish coming true. So, Taurus, this might be about you being heartbroken. And here they've intentionally put jealousy. So, you know, I'm going to just take that, okay? Someone or people, the social scene here might be jealous, and this might be something that's hurting your feelings, making you feel a loss, okay? Maybe your social circle has been, maybe even it's been positive. You've been having positive feedback, and then you right now, it's like your heart is this kind of bullseye here for people's arrows, these 3 arrows. This is like 3 of Swords. On the bottom, 9 of Cups. The very positive energy, but whatever your wish was that came true, some people ain't having it, okay? There's some jealousy issues here. So what's surrounding Taurus? See, maybe that's what it was, why it called me to this deck, because generally speaking, I don't go that route with the 3 of Swords, with jealousy. I was like, it's a loss. You're going to feel bad. You know, it's a breakup. Maybe you'll feel heartbroken, but I don't particularly point out jealousy. All right, so let's see what's surrounding Taurus, please, on Friday, March 29th. What's surrounding Taurus? Oof. King of Swords, King of Arrows, the Kingfisher. So what's surrounding you is the King of Arrows, and look, 9 of Arrows. This is the King of Swords, and underneath the deck you have 9 of Swords. King of Swords, 9 of Swords. Around you could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It also speaks to someone who is maybe a single father, divorcee. And this person has status, very logical, very fair in the way they deal with things, more in an intellectual way, thought out, more from the mind than from the heart. But there is this kind of theme of the King of Swords being fair. So it might be someone like this around you, okay? Who... Let's see how this goes, because the 9 of Swords, the 9 of Arrows, and I did see this card before when I was looking into the book. This 9 of Swords, 9 of Arrows was about, in spite of obstacles, in spite of things changing, holding on to your values and being kind of stoic about the opposition or the obstacles because you want to preserve something for future generations, like preserving what you've learned, what you know, yeah, wisdom, ancient wisdom, or cultural knowledge that's handed down generations. So basically something along those lines. But traditionally in the tarot, 9 of Swords is about sleepless nights, your worst nightmare coming true, just a lot of toxic energy, people talking, mental anxiety, stress, you know, headaches, all that kind of things affecting your sleep. And this is the underlying energy for the King of Swords. Again, could be an air sign, could be a single father, divorcee energy around you. Now, there's 3 of Arrows here, jealousy. Let's see how that works out. Let's get the outcome. So interesting. All right, so the outcome, please. This is for Taurus for Friday, March 29th, please. Oh, 2. So you know how I take this. I already told you guys in yesterday's daily. If 2 cards come out, I'm going to take it for the placement and the next placement, not as a clarifier for this first card, okay? Which is what I used to do. So this is going to be the outcome, on the bottom one is going to be the underlying energy. So we have 7 of Vessels, Mourning. Oh, I knew this one was going to come out. My goodness. Out of this entire deck, I have to say, this one stood out the most to me every time I see this card pop out, when I used to use it during the summer especially. And I feel like this is what's calling me to this deck today. All right. So then you've got 7 of Cups, Mourning. Ooh, okay. And then on the bottom here, Ace of Swords, Ace of Arrows, the Breath of Life. We already know, we saw yesterday's daily read. Speaking up. I put that red phone as that thumbnail. People talking, communications. For some reason here, Taurus, this is going to be a situation of, again, we're going to take the traditional Tarot's version, which is the 3 of Swords, heartbreak, loss, disappointment. But here with this Wildwood Tarot, they've intentionally put jealousy. Okay? And your heart here is being pierced. It's this heart aimed on a tree where people are aiming on purpose to hurt you. So it is some blood pouring down and dripping onto the ground. It hit its mark. So it's saying it's going to hurt your feelings, be hurtful, and it's because of jealousy. Look, it's on fire as well. This heart is on fire as well. It's like, what more can you do to destroy this person? Well, they're trying. They're trying, and it might even be, might even be this conspiracy, this gathering here, okay, with the 8 of Wands. Might not be something positive for you. Might be something where people are gathering together to plan how to attack and to bring you down, okay? I'm sorry that this is so dramatic and toxic. I don't know, but this had to come out today. Underlying energy, Ace of Swords, speaking up, communicating, triumphant, triumph, victory, clarity, seeing things clearly now after this happens, and being able to cut off what no longer serves in your best interest. Around you, there's the energy of the King of Arrows, which is like the King of Swords. Let me just refer to the Wildwood Tarot, because you know what? I just want to give you more. Look, it just opened right to the 9 of Bows. Underlying energy is respect. Here it says respect. There's jealousy, respect, gatherings here of, you know, major communications, and like they're having some kind of powwow meeting, okay? Around you, this kind of energy of wanting to be fair. But let me read this 9 of Bows, okay? It says, when nearing the heart of a sacred quest, motivation and integrity of human desires are challenged. Ancient wisdom demands the seeker be humble and forgiving. Respect for others and for the environment is required to proceed along the path to enlightenment. There is no completion without overcoming the challenge. He challenges our dedication and courage to continue along a chosen path. Okay. This Woodwose reminds us to treat the challenges of the wildwood with patience and compassion, marking each scar or wound suffered during the struggle as a badge of honor, earned and overcome by inner courage, dedication, and faith in the lore of natural justice. Says the sign of an evolved spirit is someone who can acknowledge past failures or defeats without bitterness and self-torment and move forward through life with a positive outlook and wisdom gathered through struggle. So basically speaking to someone who's overcome a lot, overcome the obstacles on their chosen path, and then there's an element of respect, not just for you getting respect, but respect for the environment as well. So this is all encompassed by the underlying energy of the 9 of bows, 9 of wands, which is also the wounded warrior. Being vigilant, keeping guard, feeling attacked, a little bit damaged, but still holding on to the successes and the hard work that you've, already achieved. So there's a sense of respect here. 7 of vessels, mourning, 7 of cups. 7 of cups, generally speaking in the tarot, is about having a lot of options or illusory success if it's negatively aspected. Here, the 7 of vessels, it says mourning. This is a time to honor what is dead and mourn for what is gone. Learn the lesson of letting go by offering thanks for cherished memories and being at peace with the past. All right, now let's talk about the King of Arrows, which is the King of Swords. Again, I've said already about being fair and just. This, the Kingfisher, says the tiny bird, both sexes covered with the colors of the rainbow, is equally at home in the air or in the water. With its remarkable ability to dive into the water and catch fish, the Kingfisher has been symbolic of ancient wisdom and lore for centuries. So you may need to exercise judgment, power, force of will. The king is impartial and helps you to see clearly what you no longer need to hold on to. Use your strength to cut yourself free of what weighs you down. Now, as a person in your life, someone around you, articulate and just. This is someone who is a moral leader who upholds standards. Impartiality and justice are his or her trademark. His knowledge or her knowledge and research are of the highest quality. Her or his highly principled discernment sees to the heart of things. A friend who gives you perspective. Someone who can quantify or assess a situation precisely. Okay, so let's get some clarifying oracle cards. Now, just to make it even more out there, let's use the Druid Animal Oracle cards. These are big, hard to shuffle. Let's just have fun with it. Can we get a card for Taurus today, please? It's for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. There we go. Okay. On the bottom, we have the blackbird, but we're going to read about the boar over here. Isn't that beautiful? All right, I'm just going to read about the boar. This is how they break it down. So let's go to the boar. Where are you? Oh, here. Torque. That's the Gaelic name. The warrior spirit, leadership, direction. Page 38. Let us see. Okay, the warrior spirit, leadership and direction. Sounds like the emperor. All right, the card shows a boar in the forest. In the foreground lies a head. Such a battle trumpet has been found in Grampian, Scotland. By the way, by the path, and also from Scotland is the boar stone, beside which all Pictish kings took their oaths. To one side, we also see the discarded bronze helmet of a warrior, complete with boar crest, as found in Powys, Wales. In the foreground grow mugwort, dandelion, and wild asparagus. Okay, so the meaning of the card for the boar. Torque can open you to the warrior spirit, helping you to find your direction in life. A wild and powerful animal, he calls you into the forest to discover a secret about yourself and about the world. The ritual boar paths that exist, in Wales, Cornwall, Ireland, and Scotland exist in the inner world too. And if you follow them, you will come face to face with an animal embodying the wild and untamed power that lives within each one of us. Stare closely at him and you will discover he is a representative of the goddess. His skin can heal you. He can inspire you to write music and poetry. His primal power can make you leader or chief. See if you can use your wildness and your energy for genuine acts of heroism in a world that longs for insight and healing. Isn't that beautiful? And then they have the reversed meaning, which I'm not doing, and then the tradition of the boar. It gives you kind of a background on the lore of these animals. Very interesting. All right, so next, this is the Earth Magic Oracle cards. I know, oh, that was fast. Tsunami, oh, tsunami. So you got heartbreak, jealousy, and a tsunami, okay, guys? Wolf instinct. I'm going to read tsunami. I don't know. Look, it just opened to tsunami, too. Friggin', okay. Wake up call. One of the scariest and more destructive of natural phenomena. Along with, I don't know why I can't read today. I'm so sorry. Let me have a sip of coffee, too. Okay. Along with volcanoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, and tornadoes, a tsunami occurs when a large volume of water is suddenly and rapidly displaced. It's triggered by an undersea disturbance, typically an earthquake or volcanic eruption that causes a series of powerful waves to travel across the ocean at speeds up to 500 miles per hour. Yet on the open ocean, the height of these waves seems so small that they generally pass unnoticed. As these waves, collectively called a tsunami, get closer to the shoreline, their height increases enormously, even as their speed slows to 50 miles per hour. The distance between the waves or the trough can be considered considerable, taking 20 to 30 minutes from wave to wave. If the trough hits the land first, the water recedes rapidly and dramatically, followed within minutes by an enormous wave that initially comes as a surge. This receding is a clear sign of an impending tsunami. We can't outrun the wave that follows, but we can avoid being swept up in the destruction by moving to higher ground. So now let's get to the meaning. Okay, you are getting a wake-up call. It may be in the form of a significant loss. Three of Swords here, the Three of Arrows. Or other dramatic event in your life. Typically one that you were not prepared for initially. You may feel stunned at first, surprised by the unexpected events that are occurring, yet you also know that it is time to draw back the curtain of avoidance and denial and confront the truth that exists in the subtext of this event. You are experiencing a real-life drama, so there is no need to amplify it more than it already is. Often, when you look back after something like this has passed, you can recall signs that foreshadowed it happening. There may have been obvious clues that you ignored or omens that were so subtle that were easy to dismiss as imaginings of the mind rather than the voice of your instinct. There are many anecdotes about animals operating purely on instinct, picking up on clues and naturally seeking higher ground before an approaching tsunami reaches the land. To negotiate this wake-up call, listen closely to your instincts while at the same time seeking the higher ground of spiritual truth. Holy moly, Taurus. Okay, you got mourning, loss here with jealousy, and a tsunami wake-up call. The boar here is saying, tapping into your warrior spirit. And this was also saying, take the higher ground. It's coming. There's no need to, have a heart attack about it. Just know the drama's there. Don't have to deny it. But whatever you've been avoiding or putting, in the back burner, something is coming out of this. Okay, it's all right. So let's get, this is Wild Quanyan. Can we get a card, please, for Taurus for Friday, March 29th? Okay. Oasis of hope. The successes that seem impossible are all the more precious for their unlikelihood. These are reminders of divine power, the triumph of hope, of winning against the odds. Remember that life thrives, hidden, even in the desert. Do not give up hope. Believe in the inevitability of your beautiful destiny. Okay, now, just because I don't want to leave you guys with, you know, an anxiety attack about what's going to happen tomorrow, let me just refer to the Wild Kuan Yin book to give you some clarification here for this card. Oasis of Hope. Give me a second. I know I'm making this longer, but I don't want to leave you with a tsunami and jealousy and heartbreak, okay? Oh my gosh, where is it? Desert Harvest, I think that is. I don't know. They named it. Yeah, it is. See, they named it different things. All right. Many of my divine children take time to cultivate their offering to the world. Your soul, even with your fire and ambition, is capable of great patience, endurance, hope, and faith. These spiritual qualities allow for the development of a truly exceptional offering to the world. Rest assured, my divine one, it is never too late. In fact, your time for full blooming is just now starting to come into view. Inner reading. If you are dreaming of a beautiful but unlikely dream, do not give up. Help is coming. It is a timing issue. There is a greater cycle at play, and you will need to wait for the cycle to complete itself. It will not be for much longer now, but patience is the key. Patience is not telling you you cannot. It is just telling you that the best time for all to happen is on its way. If you are going through dark times and believe all hope is lost, remember that in the dark of night, when least expected, your soul shall open. Your soul flower shall open, and your hope and patience will have fulfilled their task of leading you to the sweetest oasis. Healing will come. My goodness. Okay, so this Oracle of Desert Harvest comes to you with tidings of life and fertility in the face of odds to the contrary. When your life doesn't seem to be moving in the right direction and you cannot find your way, you may fall prone to doubts. Spiritually speaking, you are in the desert and yearning for water. The improbable, the difficult to launch, the creative dream that seems to be ridiculous will be, and the Divine Mother will delight in another of her improbable creations, such as her irrepressible sense of play, humor, and divinely defiant will. All right, so Lord have mercy, guys. I don't know, man. I just can't leave you guys like this. I feel bad. Frig, man, it's a heavy day. That's why it's like pulling me to this deck. This is Work Your Light card. Let's just see what's going on. I was going to make this a short read, but obviously whenever there's conflict or some toxic situation and mourning, jealousy, tsunami, I want to know what's going on and gauge just how intense it's going to be. This is for Taurus for Friday, March 29th, please. For Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Can we please give some guidance to Taurus for Friday? Because this is crazy. Can we give them some guidance, please? Boundaries. See? Oh my God, another one. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? I don't know what's going on, Taurus. Okay. On the bottom, soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So let me read this one to you. Boundaries. $44. Oh, Lord. You're being called to create clearer boundaries in your life. This could be with your friends, family, or work. Saying yes when you really mean no leads to resentment, which is the biggest energy drain ever. At first, it might only be a little bit and not feel like a big deal, but before you know it, your energy field becomes porous and you are left feeling depleted, resentful, or taken advantage of. Saying no and having clear boundaries is actually a spiritual act. The most giving, loving, compassionate people are those with the clearest boundaries, for when they say yes, they are able to give unconditionally. When your boundaries are clear, others know where they stand and you are able to give freely. If you are not clear where your boundaries lie, this causes confusion, resentment, and energetic cords to be planted. If you are saying yes when you really mean no, you are likely needing something yourself. Ask yourself what part of me needs something from them. It could be a need for approval, a fear of being seen a certain way, or a fear of loss. The best way to gauge your boundaries is to check in with your belly. Your belly is the second brain. It has an intelligence known as your gut feelings. You're like your intuition. Tune into this space when deciding what is okay for you. How does it feel? What is it trying to communicate with you? The Work Your Light inquiry. Where in your life do you need to establish better boundaries? Okay, so it looks like it's with your inner circle here. I don't think this is something that, it seems personal. It's not something related to your work, in your professional life, thank goodness. This is something that looks like family drama, okay? Or with your friends, that kind of a drama, or maybe in your relationship. Around you is the King of Swords. It's about being fair, the King of Swords. So you also, with the two swords elements here, it says King of Arrows and Ace of Arrows. He's got that sword of truth, victory, clarity. This is the sword of truth, victory, and clarity. Speaking your mind, communications, cutting off what no longer serves in your best interest. And the reason why you are getting this kind of jealousy, why you are getting this kind of feeling of being attacked, is because, first of all, you need to establish boundaries. Do not say yes if you don't mean yes. Even if you look like the bad guy, just say no, I can't. You don't need to say any more than that. And Eight of Bows, Eight of Wands. This could either be because you have become, well received, having a lot of positive kind of feedback and communications to you, which is maybe making, some kind of new excitement or thrill in your life, some new energy that's, making you feel excited and inspired again. If that's it, maybe some people around you are feeling jealous, upset for whatever is going on in your life. Again, with the boar here, saying tap into your warrior spirit, okay? And this is coming to the tsunami, the wake-up call. The wake-up call. An epiphany. Take it like that, okay? No, watch out for this. Take the high road. Tsunami, look for higher ground. Establish boundaries. Say no if you mean no. That's it, Taurus. Love you all. Have your love reading up soon. And then I'm going to go back to my normal spreads, okay? This is really one-off and weird. I just felt called to do it. All right, thank you.